I think people that play the game should do the voting. If you play the game, you should do the voting because we have a view of the game that people that's just writing just can't have. And a lot of people that write hold grudges due to the fact that they need to make a quota and we at our locker and we won't give them the quote they want, so we are labeled as assholes or he's not a good person. But you catch me after getting beat 45-0 and you want me to give you a quote. I'll give you a quote, but it ain't gonna be the one that you want. So now I'm a bad person because now I ask, can I have some time to calm down, get myself back together before I make these crazy accusations or say some, or quotes, you know what I'm saying? Because when you really get your behind beat, or even when you play very well, you say some stuff out the way. When you overexcited or underexcited, you say some things out of the way. So I always used to say, can I speak to you in 45 minutes or 50 minutes? Because I need to bring my emotions back to level. Because if I played very well and we won, I may say something that I shouldn't say. Or if we played very bad and I played very bad, I may say something that I shouldn't say. So I always tell young players, when I speak with one, I say, man, before you say anything in that microphone or to one of those reporters, get yourself back to level.
Hey, welcome back to Life After Sports 23.
What's going on, brother?
What's up with you, man?
Oh, man, shit. It's been a tough week with one of my favorite players dying, man. The man that really kind of brought me to baseball, passing Mr. Pete Rose.
Yeah, I know. You growing up right in that part of the world too. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That part of the country where, you got Cincinnati. He was born and raised, and you got St. Louis, where you from.
Chicago.
You know what I mean? Yeah, Chicago. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, man. At first it was real surreal because I woke up and you find out Dikembe passes. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, yeah.
Dikembe Mutombo. Rest in peace. Love and prayers to your family and your loved ones, and what an ambassador he was. You know what I mean?
Great ambassador.
What do they say? You can always tell what type of impact you had by the people that come to your funeral and what people say about you afterwards. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you can tell from the commissioner of the NBA on down to his people in the Congo.
Right.
This man's building hospitals and he lived for the people. And I never knew him, but the people that I did know say, he was a gentle giant.
Right. I never got the opportunity to meet him, but as far as a basketball player, I appreciated his game. The way that he did things with the wave of the finger, protecting the basket, always was there for his fellow players and countrymen. That's United States and the Congo. So, man, you have to take your hat off to him, man. But I'm really sad because I was a baseball lover all my life. And I know we're going to talk about Mutombo, but, man, I'm really, really upset about the way I think Pete Rose passed with a heavy heart, not being in Hall of Fame, man. Pete Rose is one of the reasons that I fell in love with baseball, man. The way that he played baseball was the way that I enjoyed playing football. Every second, every moment. This man played during the 90s, if I'm hoping that I'm saying this right, 97% of his games in his career. That's what you call a baseball player. I know a lot of guys say you hit home runs and you steal bases and you do all of the fielding, but a man to go out there 97% of the time over his career, man, that's amazing, Greg.
Hey, James, hats off to that. Me playing the sport, and like you said, not only 97%, what was he, 17, 18-time All-Star, 5 different positions. Mm-hmm. So, hey, and that's what I try to converse to kids, the youth. What position you play? Well, I play third. No, you need to play everything. You need to know how to play every single position because there's going to be a team or there's going to be somebody that's going to be better than you, and you're going to have to know how to adjust if you want to get on the field. And it's funny because that Negro League game we had last weekend, nobody wanted to raise their hand for catcher. I said, all these scouts, all these people out here, and nobody's going to catch? I said, so you better sit on the bench than put on the catcher's gear and have someone say, he's never caught before. I mean, you could have left more of a mark doing that.
That's right.
Than doing what you guys are doing. Trying to convey and get them to understand that, hey, you have to be okay being uncomfortable. Sometimes and if you play a sport, what's the difference in catching and catch? You got to catch the ball.
Well, our kids today, man, they don't like to be in uncomfortable positions. And can I say is that's because of society, or could we say it's because of the parents that we don't allow our kids to be in tough situations the tough situations that we was in? Because a lot of times growing up in the neighborhoods that we might have grew up in, we was put in tough situations. We had to navigate ourselves out of it. But a lot of our kids that's able to play professional sports or come from suburbs, they don't know how to navigate themselves out of situations. So when you told them it would have been great if one of you guys would have went back there and stood up and just said, I've never caught before, but I'm finna get this opportunity. And that would have gave them more recognition than they would have got at the positions they really played.
Yeah, and the sad part about it is because you played, James, you played baseball, you played Little League.
Loved it.
And I was talking to Dusty last night. Dude, we can play every position. You know what I mean? If you're playing with your friends at the park and you only had 3 or 4 guys, you had a first baseman, a shortstop, the pitcher ran the second to cover.
Yeah.
The guy that might have been the shortstop on Little League was playing center field.
Yeah.
There were no positions. The positions were, hey, I need to be in the game.
Right.
And to get back to Pete, you said 95% of his games were, that he played 95% of his games over the course of his career is an astonishment. It's something that it is crazy.
But the greatest thing is what you said, Greg, is he played multiple positions where he filled in where guys that didn't want to play. He said, I can do it. That's why he was able to play that much baseball.
Yeah, because, like I said, man, and there's a difference between trying and being competitive, as you know, right? It doesn't take much effort to try. And I think society, a majority of them is, it's all about the rewards. It's all about, well, he tried, or it's okay. And it's, we had tough love, whether it was the mom, the dad, the principal, the dean, the neighbor next door, the police athletic league. But we were in situations so we knew how to talk and also deal with tough times. And Pete Rose, and it's funny because the last time I seen him about a month and a half ago, we were at an event, and I was saying how good he looked. And I said, man, you the man. He said, shit, Vaughn, you the man? I said, no, you the all-time hit leader. You are the man. He goes, shit, how'd you change facial hair? They didn't change facial hair for me in Cincinnati. So that'll be one of the last things that I remember, you know what I mean? Because that was our last conversation.
Right.
He goes, you were the man. And I know he was kidding and just giving me a hard time, but and then to have him pass, and then today we're sitting here talking about him, trying to give him his flowers. And once again, man, we talk about this all the time on Life After Sports 23. Please don't let it happen to Dave Parker too before he gets his flowers.
Right.
Don't let him go too.
Right.
I mean, don't you?
That was a respect thing with Pete, though, because you guys played the game the same way, right? Like people were like good players respect other players when they play it out.
Yeah.
You love the game.
Yeah.
Like when you said it's like I want to be out there. When you said earlier about no one raised their hand to be catcher, you're like,
Dude,
I want to be out there.
you know what? You know the reason I fell in love with baseball is because of Pete Rose. It wasn't that he was such a great athlete. It's just the way that he played the game. And I saw this man just play the game so hard where you was like, man, this is how I want to play. You understand what I'm saying? And when you see someone that does it like that, because it's a bunch of great athletes that we have seen play, but do they play as hard as this man with this half-empty glass of athleticism? And then there's a bunch of guys with a whole glass of athleticism that can't do it and won't do it.
I think they can, but like you said, they won't.
They won't do it.
But that's why the ultimate nickname. You know what I mean? He had the Charlie Hustle.
Charlie Hustle.
And that's what I tell kids, and I tell my grandson, and there's only one way. There's not a way when you're hitting 300. There's not a way when you're hitting 350. There's not a way when you haven't had a hit in 2 weeks. There's only one way to play. And, I was blessed because Mr. Winfield, Robin Yount, Dave Parker, Glenn Braggs, Willie Rand, those people say, hey, man, don't ever let that guy out there know you down, because people prey on that. We're competitors. Whether it's football, but when you hit a guy, you hurt him. If you can hurt him and he don't know it, you be like, damn, man, I hit this son bitch like that, and that didn't get him. Dang, you know what I mean? I'm out to pack a lunch. Same thing in baseball. They said, hey, I don't care how you feel inside, but the mental part of sports is 99. Like Yogi Berra said, he said 25% athletic ability. He said the other 155% is mental. You know what I mean?
And that's where, and even in football, we used to say in football is only 10% physical, 90% mental. Because if you see a bunch of guys standing on the sideline in the NFL and be like, "Ooh, that's a big old guy. Ooh, he can run," when he was at Auburn, when he was at Tennessee. But this is the problem. He got 90% athleticism. Not the right one. It should be the flip side. 10% of that. But that mental part is the 90% that you need to play professional sports, because professional sports is a thinking man's game. And it is not an athletic guy's game, but the guy with the athleticism that can think, those are the guys that you see out there playing.
Hey, hats off to that, James. You're absolutely right. But also, you got to throw. That's why I said, analytics is cool and all the other stuff. But you have to have the human element. You have to be able to say, can someone nut up, and can I count on them after they just got a pitch up and in, or got knocked down, or haven't had a hit in 3 weeks? Or is he, hey, take me out of the game, coach? If the good pitchers pitch in, and guys that spot play, or just like football. Hey, I'll run those outs, but I'm not running those middles. You know what I mean?
Nobody want to run across the middle.
Yeah.
Hey, Ronnie Lott standing over there.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I done seen a bunch of people get the itchy. I got a situation when we was playing Chicago Bears. This is when I was in Minnesota, and John Randall was going up against this young fella. I'm not going to call his name, but he was a guard for the Chicago Bears. And the guy faked like he was sick because John Randall told him he was going to murder him on the field. He said, "I'm going to murder you today." And the dude faked like he was sick because he was so afraid to go against John Randall. I mean, a lot of people was afraid.
But you're an athlete.
He got his mental.
Yeah, his mental.
Hey, that was the flip side.
He just stole that 90%.
He stole.
And that's the crazy thing. You think about it. What is trash talking? What is all that is to get you out of your game, and then. But if you come back, then you got to pack a lunch. Yeah. But there's a lot of guys that don't come back. You know what I mean? Oh, he said this to me, so you just left your manhood.
Would you say that like, if you know you're good, if you know you do the work, you put in the work, then you don't have those things to worry about. Right?
It's just like doing your homework. You study for the test, you prepare for the exam. You're not worried about the exam.
So obviously that guard you're talking about probably didn't do his homework, right?
Yeah.
Well, say he did. He might be great at X's and O's. I'm gonna take that. Okay. But every tough situation he's ever got in, and his athletic ability, like James said, his athletic ability let him get to where he's at now. Now you need the cojones. You know what I mean? Now the cojones stand for something.
Because you like you said, you got to have something with you.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, you can have all the smarts on the field that you want, but you still got to have some. You got to bring a little taste of cake to get to where you need to get.
Yeah, you got to.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you got to bring your cojones, man, because hey, out there, so like I said, at any level, whether it's the W or whatever. I mean, look what Caitlin Carter went through this year, man. You tell me she ain't got it. She is tough, let alone what the commissioner said. You know what I mean? The commissioner could have stopped all this and said there's no room for any of this stuff. You can't make another Magic and Bird, so don't try to make another Magic.
Try it.
Don't try. But just squash it. See, and that's the whole problem I have with part of society. They want to keep this gap going. You know what I mean? They want to keep us against them and them against us.
But the gap is, they think that's what fuels the United States. Because if you bring everybody together, everything is going to be okay. But if you keep this gap between everybody, we can always keep secrets. And the secrets is whatever it is on your side and whatever it is on my side. Let's get rid of the secrets and bring everybody together, and then we can make this crap work, man. Because as long as we got secrets over here, nothing's gonna work, and America gonna stay exactly the way it is.
But it's, like in sports, you see parity. People, isn't this supposed to be the best place for everyone, not just a specific set of or generation of or gender or ethnicity of a race? No, it's supposed to be the best place in the world for everybody. And I'm the age I am right now, I know that's not always been the case. But where we are right now, they better be careful of what they're wishing for, because if they didn't see them boys load up them bombs across the, over in the Middle East, you know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, we're all going to be,
Hey, man.
there's not going to be nowhere for them to run either.
Listen, man. People in other countries are watching the way our country is being ran, all right? And they know we have this big gap between us. And our government, I think, is not together at all. They're separated as we are separated as people. And other countries are laughing, saying, we can go and invade them right now. Only reason they haven't invaded us is due to our airstrike. That's the only reason they won't invade us, because if we get in the air, we're going to destroy them. But outside of that, the way this country is divided, this is a perfect time to come in and tear us up. A perfect time. If somebody had kahunas enough to try, which we know nobody outside.
Countries do this stuff economically.
Yeah.
They tear countries away.
Economically.
That's the way it's been for a long time.
Well, it's going to be hard.
They're all proxy wars and it's economic.
Okay, but listen, what you
but we
just said.
bullied. The United States are bullied, so you would never be able to do it economically, because if we feel that but if they feel you doing that to them, we will. The United States will go start a war with your behind, and then we'll stop all that side show you're doing, because the United States are bullies, and that's okay. I'm from here.
But
all right.
But part of it is what you just said. You said that's what other countries are doing. That's what a specific
part of the United States.
Part of our people here are doing.
Our makeup.
Yeah, part of our makeup, part of our, society are doing the same thing. They just can't go to war, but they are trying to create war.
Yeah, we venturing too far away from what we do. We ain't politicians, man. We gonna get back to this. Let's get back to what we do, bro. Because this, that's garbage to us. We understand it. Our producers understand. What I really don't understand is why Pete Rose ain't in the Hall of Fame. This is my problem. He done all his gambling as a manager. All right.
But still.
But just hear me out. But his as a player, he didn't do any gambling. And even when he was gambling as a manager, he was gambling on his team to win, never to lose. Now gambling is everywhere in Las Vegas. It's in Idaho. It's in 10 buck 35, 920, whatever. It's everywhere. But you guys want to hold one of the greatest, the toughest baseball players in the world out of something that's very sacred. When this man played the game the correct way, instead of allowing our young athletes to see this man play the game, and then he could be a symbol of this is the way you should play the game. But instead, oh no, we don't want Pete Rose to be part of nothing.
Well, because Pete Rose, once again, it's part of society. Pete Rose is not like them. He's like Kendrick Lamar.
He's not
Pete
like
Rose,
us. He's not like
he comes
us.
from in Ohio. He comes from where we come from.
He come from the hood.
Yeah. So Pete Rose is not like him. And
Back in the day, when Dusty sat down with us, it was nice to sit down with us and told us when he was a young player and Aaron was his mentor.
Mm-hmm.
And they were traveling. There wasn't a lot of people that would, because they could only go into homes, at that time.
Mm-hmm.
You'd go to the players' homes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pete Rose was one of the guys that had his house open from a young age.
no, that's what I'm saying. So Pete.
People don't know that.
But Pete marched to his own drum. You know what I mean? Because Pete says, "Hey, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do on the field. You can't dictate how I'm going to be and live my life." You know what I mean? And there's still grudges to this day. Yeah, I had Tim Kirchin today say, as long as Rob Manfred's the commissioner, Pete will never get his flowers. And I feel the same way about Bud Selig. I mean, not Bud Selig, but Dave Parker. Yep. As long as he's there, it's.
But is it a reason why they dislike these guys?
You know what? We would have to ask them because there's some people that it's all about power, man, and it's all about flexing on somebody.
So to get into the Hall of Fame, you have to go through sports writers, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're the ones that vote.
Yeah.
They're the majority voters, right? So do you think that it is all like this setup thing because they want they want the right players to play with the media, right? To let them in, to push the game in the direction that they want. It's just more forms of control, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's been set up like that since the beginning. Because we've talked about it before. It's like, why don't former players vote on that stuff? Why don't fans even have a vote on that stuff?
But some of these guys are so far removed from the game and have so many. I mean, like Skip Bayless and the rest of them. What the hell? You need him to vote. You know what? Come on, man.
In today's society, when we're doing a podcast here, the real sports fans can go start their own sports show today. Like, just talk about. In fact, you watch them all the time on YouTube. You see Instagram posts. You see all these posts all the time, right? So there's really no need for sports writers per se anymore because, like, especially the older generations, you gotta have. You said Skip Bayless has been there since.
I mean, but they're still writing articles on. They're still writing articles on the internet. Still doing all the. Yeah, people can do it, but I mean.
And I would like to see the numbers.
But there are a lot of good ones. There's.
Why like that's like so like in our world, right? The Oscars and people like that, like the people in the industry vote, right? I'm not saying that those are good awards too.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not saying that, but as far as like the votes are concerned, it's like I don't know. I feel like people that are in the world should be voting.
I think people that play the game should do the voting. If you play the game, you should do the voting, because we have a view of the game that people that's just writing just can't have, and a lot of people that write hold grudges due to the fact that they need to make a quota, and we at our locker, and we won't give them the quote they want, so we are labeled as assholes, or he's not a good person. But you catch me after getting beat 45-0, and you want me to give you a quote. I'll give you a quote, but it ain't gonna be the one that you want. So now I'm a bad person because now I ask, can I have some time to calm down, get myself back together before I make these crazy accusations or say something, or quotes, you know what I'm saying? Because when you really get your behind beat, or even when you play very well, you say some stuff out the way. When you overexcited or underexcited, you say some things out of the way. So I always used to say, can I speak to you in 45 minutes or 50 minutes? Because I need to bring my emotions back to level. Because if I played very well and we won, I may say something that I shouldn't say. Or if we played very bad and I played very bad, I may say something that I shouldn't say. So I always tell young players, and when I speak with one, I say, man, before you say anything in that microphone or to one of those reporters, get yourself back to level. What you think about that?
Yeah, well, baseball, they started making it where they just can't come in right after the game.
You remember when we played, they came in.
But towards the halfway through my career, they said, 20 minutes after the game, because you for that purpose that you were just saying right there, you needed people to come down, or you're playing on emotions, whether it was good or bad. But the other factor is, tell me how crazy this is. That they're doing their jobs, right? And us as athletes, we have to understand that too. They have a job to do. That's why I was always taught, don't read and acknowledge your own flowers. You know how you're playing, what you're doing, because human nature is, as long as they're talking good about you, you're going to love them. But as soon as they step on the other side, people are going to be like, hold some type of animosity or grievance towards them because they're going to be like, I don't like what you said. I have family, I have kids. But that's why if you just be the same and stay out of the way, man, you cannot read your own press clippings, man. You know what you're doing because you know what you're doing. You know what I mean? And you know how good you can't do it. You have to stay away from that stuff because their job, good or bad, and I'm not saying it's right, but good or bad, they have to report, what they see, because they got to eat, they got to turn on the light switch, and something has to happen. But at the same time, we're supposed to be okay with what they say about us, right? But they don't have to be with us. And so hindsight, now it's time for someone like Pete Rose or Dave Parker to go in the Hall of Fame. Nope, because of something that they didn't like about him.
Well, that was also my point too, because like no one has been voted into a Hall of Fame 100%, right? So like you have no doubt, like when you say like, yeah, that's
Ken Griffey Jr.,
that's my point.
Willie Mays.
They're like 96%. They're like, okay, 96%. You're like, who's voting no on guys like that?
The guys that they should take their privileges away.
Well, that's my point. So, like, you can tell that those, again, that's why I kind of think it should be voted by the players and maybe a kind of fan vote. Like fans vote the All-Star,
But that's not always right either. That's a popularity contest.
Like you said, that's a popularity.
There is popularity.
Because you come from a big market, a lot of smaller guys get a lot.
Maybe the writers can be like, okay, these are the guys that are eligible, right? Or per se, like I know everyone's kind of eligible after their career's over, and you get voted 5%, right? And then you're off the ballot or something like that. Can't remember the specifics, but maybe there should be something to get to the ballot, and then the fans vote on those people, so you know those guys are, let's say.
Well, but the fans are gonna get. I get what you're saying.
Because like these guys hold personal relationships with you, like you just said, and they can hold grudges, and also they can be friendlier with certain people.
But then also it goes the opposite way too. Now you got some guys that's in the NFL Hall of Fame that shouldn't be in the NFL Hall of Fame due to the fact that they did everything right in these people's eyes that done the voting, and us as players saying like, why are you in the Hall of Fame? I'm talking about coaches and some players shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame, but they there because they did exactly the right thing, and sometimes people do just the right thing. You're going to tell me this guy get in before T.O.? Come on, there's no way. I'm not going to call the guy's name. Come on, man. Terrell Owens is the greatest wide receiver that ever played the game.
You know what? Are you ever going to fix anything to make everything right? In the world, we're not going to do it.
I'm saying like this is something that's never been addressed. It's always been.
Well, I think it's been addressed, but what can they do? How do you pull someone's card?
They
You know
brush
what I mean?
over it.
Yeah, they make light of it. Oh, he'll get in next year. But that's not the point. The point he should be in this year. The point is he should have been 10 years ago. So he could have lived and felt the acknowledgement that he deserves. You know what I mean? So, like I said, I just hope they do the right thing, man. Please don't let Dave Parker go.
You know what's going to really upset me is they put him in the Hall of Fame after he died.
That's what they're going to do. That's what they always do.
Pete Rose, they gonna make it honorary and put him in. And why come you couldn't done that when this man was alive, so he could have celebrated with his family, and his family could have hugged and kissed him and was like, man, it's been a long time coming. Why you have to wait till somebody died to love him, man?
But they always do. Because once again, James, this is just my personal opinion. It's all about power to me, because if you want to do the right thing, you can't pick the right thing on Pete Rose and do the wrong thing with the Houston Astros.
Right.
Yeah.
Completely.
So either it's right.
Like I'm a Dodger fan, Eagle fan. Ohtani. That just kind of we don't know what happened there.
They brushed that on. They brushed it under the rug.
Look what happened this year.
Right.
Right. How much money did he make?
Come on.
For the MLB?
Right.
But once again, you're gonna do the right thing. He bet on base. He did. He tarnished the game. But the other ones, they were using man-made devices to help them accomplish something. So either you're gonna do the right thing or you're gonna do the wrong thing. But you can't do the right thing and the wrong thing.
That's that time passing thing.
No, it'll go away. It'll go away, and we stay out the way. But that's the first time.
Y'all just be good.
That's the first time I ever heard current players where the commissioner's office. The commissioner's office is like, when you're a player, they can make up and do anything they want to do. And thank God we had good unions in baseball, but it's It's crazy to me that is right in his eyes, and hasn't Pete paid enough? Has he paid enough? You know what? He's that's always going to be part of him, even if he gets in.
He never bet against his team.
So they say. We don't know. We know because I'm Major League. I don't know about NFL.
But tell me this: how did they take his cleats, his gloves, his bat, his uniform, and put it in Cooperstown, but they don't put him in there?
We do it all the time.
Make that make sense to me. Now, all the stuff that you played in, we want. But this physical man,
He's the all-time hits leader, man. He's got
he can't be in.
It's crazy. 3 World Series.
But you know, like I said, man, I just hope they don't do. You know, it isn't important being. Once again, it's about being a leader. Aren't you supposed to do the right thing? You know.
And not only that, he was an ambassador for baseball. He's like up until last month, he's still doing interviews.
Yes.
Like I said, I seen him just like yeah.
You've seen him exactly. So it's like this dude has done more for baseball.
Oh, when baseball need him, they call him. When they need him, they call him. How many people play an all-star game, stand at the front door? I heard a guy talking about this. Stand at the front door and greet all the all-stars and tell them, we're out here to win. We're going to win today. We're going to win the game. Most guys in the all-star game, they look like this is a vacation for me and my kids and my wife and stuff. But Pete Rose came to the all-star game to win.
But you know that tells you just as you know, if you're playing checkers, if you're playing chess, he has one mentality. I mean, he's one of the most fierce competitors to ever do it.
That's that Michael Jordan syndrome.
Yeah.
Kobe Bryant.
It's that competitiveness you can't teach.
Yeah.
You know, you can't. Either you're born with it, or you don't have. Some people have it different magnitudes and different levels of it, but either you're born with it or you're not. You don't have it.
What do you think it is? Is it like never being satisfied with the result?
It's like I think you could take it and put it like anything else in the world. Entrepreneurship, you know, whether you're a CFO, CEO, you start your own company, you think different than the people that just walk through the door. You know what I mean? You know, all people that have, in my opinion, you know, some are born into it, but even for the most part, hey man, you have to think different than the majority of the people that you know that you're surrounded by. But your inner circle and your circle, you're gonna hang around successful people because you're a sponge. How did they grow? How do they continue to flourish? You know, you got to hang around people that you know that think like you, that are motivated like you, that bring something to the table. Because if we're hanging around people that don't bring something to the table, don't think like us, and trying to pull us down and just making excuses and want something for nothing, man, that's too much. That's too much. That's too depressing for me. That's a lot of work.
I was gonna say, so when you guys were coming up, like, you know, in the minor leagues or you know, in college or whatever, like, how many of those guys made it professionally? What do you guys?
They told me, this is what they told me when I got to the combine. They said they take 1 million kids, put them in a room, cut the lights out, stick their hand in the closet, pull one out, shut the door. That's one. Now, how many people left in that closet? 999,000. All right? Then they go to the next closet and they do it again. How many left in that closet? 999,000. So 1 out of 1 million make it in the NFL. Out that position.
Well, you're
that's
talking
the way it
about,
goes.
yeah, you're talking about the highest level. That's what it is. But like I said, that's why I hate when people, and even us as sports guys, you know, in fantasy, I'm like, ah, dang, you know, I'm just saying. But I never say anyone sucks because there's no level higher. You know, shit. I mean,
Sometimes
I play bad.
they suck. I've sucked a bunch of times.
Me too.
I've looked in the mirror and like, you suck.
I remember a reporter saying, "How you feel today?" I remember, what do you think happened today? I said, "Well, I know I left a small subdivision on base today, so I know that."
But that's what made you guys better, was acknowledging when you guys could be better at times, right?
Yeah.
Again, if you, like you said earlier, it was like if you think when you come off a high, you're just like, oh, I'm the greatest thing ever. That's when you see these guys fizzle out. When you see you guys have a great year, or maybe even a great game.
Or they're out of the league. Because you see, you know, 'cause I remember my son saying something because he used to be in the clubhouse, and Corey would be like, you know, because he's young at the time, so he sees a cat that's balling a little bit, and he's young, so he's cool with Corey. Corey, they have a lot more in common than me. Him with his dad, right?
Mm-hmm.
Next time in, Corey be like, "Dad, what happened to?" Hey, see what cool gets you?
Cool
See what cool get you? Being cool.
Yeah, I'll tell you some funny stuff. One time we was playing the New England Patriots, and I was in Minnesota at the time, and I registered 0-0-0-0 in a game, and the New England Patriots threw the ball 77 times, set the NFL passing record, then sniffed the quarterback. So we get paid on on Tuesdays, right? So I was going to pick up my check, and I was walking backwards to the lady that give us our check, and I was saying, boop, boop. She was like, what are you doing? I said, I'm bagging up to my check because I shouldn't be getting one, so I don't want to look at you while I get it. So I bagged up to it. And everybody started laughing about it like, this boy's crazy. I didn't think I deserved a check. And I'm out there 45, 55 plays, and I registered 0-0-0-0. So I bagged myself up to get my check. Like, that's the way I played, with my back to the game. So that's how I got my check, bagged up. So a lot of these guys should be bagging up to their check because they ain't out there busting their behinds. Like Charlie Hustle. Get him, Charlie. Rest in peace, man. I'm going to see you soon. We're going to talk baseball when I see you.
Hopefully you don't see him too soon. We got too much golf to play. And too much hey, what about that W in the playoffs, though?
Wow.
How about the Aces, man? 0-1?
Well, the Aces' biggest problem is they're too small for New York. New York is a big team, man, and they skillful. The Aces are skillful, but they're a smallish team. The biggest player on their team is Asia, and she got to deal with a big player, and then they got four other bigger players that just as skilled as the Aces' smaller players.
I think we're gonna bounce back. Don't they play tonight?
They played tonight at 4-something here, 7-something on the East Coast.
So they play tonight at 7 then.
Well, this is best of 5, right? So you don't want to go it's okay to go down 2-0 because you pick up your 2 at your house, then you just really got to go back and take care of business in New York.
But it's a best of 5, so you're only playing 3. I mean, so you go down 0-2, you got to win 3 in a row.
Yeah, well.
I mean, it can be done, like you say. It can be. The Red Sox did it. The Red Sox did it, but the best of 5. But let me ask you this: so, out of all the games, Detroit came out of nowhere, and that boy did, and they put it on Houston today.
They're going to beat Houston. They're going to beat Houston.
They put it on them. It's always good to get out to a 1-0 start, especially in those short series.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got another one. What's Baltimore's Kansas City score right now?
Kansas City, Baltimore.
See, I like Baltimore, but you get Kansas City, they ain't got nothing to lose. Kansas City ain't got nothing, and they're all young.
And they swinging away.
Except,
yeah, that's what you go. See, there you go.
They ain't got nothing to lose.
I thought all the underdogs would win today anyway. I really did. If I was a bet man, I would have took all underdogs today.
What about Well, I didn't see the line, but Chris Sale against the Padres too.
Yeah.
Well, they said earlier today he was back in. He's back out now.
Yeah, he's out. Sales is out.
No. They came back like noon. They said there's a good chance he could be in. Yeah, if he's pitching, that's gonna be tough.
What do you guys think now?
I like the Padres in that series.
Me too. But if Sale pitches, okay, good. But Atlanta don't do this, man. Like I said, they're riding that momentum like Kansas City, like Detroit. No one was talking about any of these teams. The next thing you know, they're in the playoffs. Next thing you know, they're gonna be like Arizona did last year. So one of them gonna be.
Well, Detroit have something that's real special. They got 2 good pitchers, and they got a guy that come out the bullpen. And when you got 2 good pitchers and somebody that you trust to come out the bullpen, you got an opportunity. And Cleveland has that. I'm afraid with the Yankees, they don't have that. I don't think the Yankees got that. They got hitting, but if the hitting is off, they could be swept. I look at the Astros. This is just not their year. I just think they have so many good, talented players on their team. They're going to get in the playoffs. But as far as winning it again this year, not a chance.
No, the answer, like you said, and that's a testament to Dusty because, like I said, at least they did come back and win with Dusty as their manager, the Astros. But you know what's crazy? Also, man, and me and my buddy, me and Dusty were talking about this, and who else? Me and Robin Young. And we were saying when we were in Milwaukee, when you win a division, you got 7 days off. That's horrible. I mean, from trying to get loose and get your timing's all good, and all of a sudden I got 7. I don't care what you do in BP. I don't care what you do in practice. You don't want to lose what you had. And Paul Mahler used to say, when you're going good and you feel good, and you're
who's the division leaders? Was it the Dodgers?
Phillies, Dodgers, Yankees,
Cleveland, the Guardians.
There you go.
Okay. So the guys that's waiting right now are those 4: Dodgers, Phillies, Mets, Yankees, and the Guardians. Now the one out of there, I think
Brewers.
The Brewers playing tonight. They play tonight. That's the sleeper team. It's the Brewers, because they got what? They got pitching, and they can hit that ball. And what else they do good? When they get on that base, they're in the track meet.
What's the score?
3-2.
What inning?
Third.
Brewers.
3-2
Mets.
Mets. See, once again, Mets came. Mets. They played last night. They had the champagne. They got on the champagne plane and came on to Brew City, and now they're just riding it out.
So what you just said there, because as fans, we know those things, and we've heard those things a lot, is like the layoff for the teams.
Sure.
So how hard is it?
It's real hard because it does get you healthy.
What do you do in those days?
Try to emulate what you were doing if going into it, and if you had a bad year and your team won, you said, "Oh, thank God that part's over with. Now let me get a focus on this part."
I think that's true, though.
Yeah.
Bad year and show up in the playoffs.
Oh yeah, they do it all the time. When we lost the World Series, I mean, Scott Brosius and Ricky Leday, the rest of the Yankees did nothing to us. Scott Brosius and Ricky Leday, and I'm not saying they weren't good players. They're great players, but the big dogs that we went in the meeting worried about, we held them down. And a bad umpire, Richie Garcia, called ball 4, called strike 3, ball, so it went from 2-2 to 3-2, next pitch, grand slam, we lose. Oh, we run off the field. I was cussing, screaming, dude. Oh, shit.
Yeah, what a terrible.
Terrible.
Well, I was going to bring up, we can go back to football for a second, because this is trending right now.
Oh.
It's Kansas City, and how they're getting all the calls. And when you look at these replays,
The Chiefs.
yeah, man, like, do you think it's, I mean, what are your guys'
Well, just look at the game last night. Check out your boy, the Metcalf. Metcalf trying to come back for a ball and just got. You know what kills me, dude? It's like baseball. If you're gonna call it a strike, call it a strike. So then I know. So football, I don't know.
Pass interference. If anybody in this world know what pass interference is, please come and tell us, because none of us knows what it is. What is pass interference? They redefined it. It's a different call every time it's called.
Yeah, and then it's not. Yeah, games on the line, they don't call it.
No,
But Jim,
unless you're the Chiefs.
Hey, but
Unless you're the Chiefs. Yeah,
I got no skin in that game.
great game.
I do.
Great call. Great call.
I did the Super Bowl.
But, like, it's kind of, I don't know. I think they're losing some fans this year. I honestly,
No, I don't think they're losing fans.
We're not losing fans.
But
You're
see,
com-
but
it's
what
com-
about-
I think it's confusing.
But why should the players lose fans? They shouldn't, or organization should. Remember, I said this to you before. If we have to be accountable, managers and coaches are supposed to be accountable. The people controlling the game. You know what I always heard about a good referee or a good umpire? You don't even know they're at the game. You don't know they're at the game. But see, once again, we're getting these guys that probably had grudges and this and that. You can't say nothing, can't do this. And, I mean, some of these calls are so blatant, man, that they don't make.
Is some people break their necks to be referees and umpires for the Chiefs. And I'm not saying anything is weird, But it's weird when the same people keep ending up being the referees and the umpires at the game now. It's a little weird.
But knowing Junior, I know the kind of competitor he is, and knowing Kelsey. Come on, man. Them give you. No. I'm just saying. And Sean Jones.
It's not the players.
It's not the players. I'm saying, but you have to understand. When you win, stuff tends to happen. When I played on bad teams, dude, them pitchers I took on good teams were balls on good teams. They were strikes on bad teams.
And the referee, I've heard the ref say, "Oh man, y'all horrible. Just play." I've heard him say it, and it's weird. I kept lining up offside against Cincinnati. This when the Bengals was horrible. This when they wore the ugly orange helmets and the black jerseys, and I kept lining up offsides. And one of the tackles kept saying, "He's offsides," and I heard the referee say, "Man, shut up. Y'all horrible. It don't matter where you line up at. Y'all can't block them." That's crazy, man. I've actually heard that.
You know. And do you think the Patriots has lost any fans?
I'm not saying that it's the teams
that
are winning. I'm saying
it's the teams that win.
I'm saying the teams that lose on the bad end of those. People, it happens 2 games in a row. You're like, I'm not watching the season.
What's going on, man?
I'm saying as a casual fan. Because if the things aren't going, you're like, well, they did everything they could to win, and then they still don't because of the refs.
Yeah.
And you're busy or whatever. You're like, I might choose something else.
I would. Just like right now, I'm getting ready to go watch the W. I'm getting ready to go watch baseball.
I got to
Yeah, Life After
Hold
Sports
on.
23.
Are we done filming?
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
Are we? Hey, I'll call you right back. We're filming, man. I'm sorry.
I wanted to get that Chiefs in there because that's trending right now.
I'm so sorry.
With these few games, the Chiefs have been trending, so that we have to get that in there. Just get a clip in there because that shit's crazy, dude. The holding, the pass interference, you're just like, dude.
I needed to take that call. I'm sorry. That call was important.
Let's end it. Right?
Okay, but no. We brushed over Mutombo. Let's touch a little bit about Mutombo. We shouldn't brush over him because he's a baseball player. I'm a lover of baseball, so that was the reason that I jumped so hard into Pete Rose. But
I want to talk
let's
about the
talk.
humanitarian. The humanitarian.
That's what. Let's talk about that part of
the Congo, and I mean, he was. You talking about breaking chains. But this man, that Mutombo's probably
he's the definition of breaking chains and building dreams.
Because he gave a whole nation a whole lot of dreams and a whole lot of hope. Because going out there, but he didn't forget. He went back and made a difference, and his legacy will forever live on because his foundation and all the works and all the, all the people that he touched, it's going to continue. So Life After Sports 23 would just like to say rest in peace to, no.
And also we'd like to say rest in peace to my greatest baseball player, Mr. Charlie Pete Rose. And I call him Charlie Hustle.
Yeah, you and everybody else. Yeah.